So when I woke up this morning, I got thinking about how things work and how things don't work. And so um, a lot of times in life we want something to happen. And so what we do is we create this plan of how it's going to happen, and we have this intention of doing these things. And then when things stop working, it's because there's a breakdown in what was committed to. So, okay, I want this to happen. So step one is actually recognizing what's going to have to happen to make something work. And a lot of what I'm talking about I actually got from Landmark Forum, so worth checking out for sure. And so if you want to make 2018 work for you is, hey, let's get realistic. So when I want something to happen, what's it actually going to have to take to get from point A to point B? What all is going to have to be involved? And the truth is as you're moving through point A to point B and you're trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to make this thing happen? Your original plan is you're going to find that there's other things that are necessary to, good morning, Dobbin. There's other things that are necessary that you didn't know you were going to need in order to make this goal happen, or this intention happen, or this to come through. So that's going to happen. So it's good to go into 2018 going, okay, I am making a commitment to do this thing, and then things are going to come up you didn't anticipate, and now you have to create a new world for yourself, a new workability. And so that's something that I got from the course, which is integrity. So the integrity of something is all that means is that it's workable. What's up, Mark Walton? And the and that means that, okay, we're doing this thing together, or I'm doing this on my own. Is it working or not working? If it's not working, it's lacking integrity somewhere. So we gotta go into the system, and we gotta find in the system where we have a weakness. And then when we find that weakness in the system, then we upgrade it. And normally, the weakness in the system is simply a conversation. It's a communication. So something's not working in a relationship, something's not working at work, something's not working in your training, in your coaching, or something like that. And so anytime something's not working in your world the way you want it to work, all you have to do is now communicate that this isn't working and we need to make it work. So the real key here is, if you want 2018 to work for you, then you have to be a person of integrity. And so what I want to challenge you to do is go, okay, anytime something's not working, what's up, Gary? What I want you to do is, when you look at your life and go, okay, why is it not working? And go, okay, it's not working because this is happening. Now, not only do you want to identify why it's not working, but you want to see what is it that you can do to make it work. And like, I'm going to go right back to this. It's usually just a conversation with somebody. So if you want 2018 to work for you and you want it, then what you get to do is you have this commitment to having integrity, and that means doing what you say. So if I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And when there's a breakdown, when it doesn't happen, when I have failure, or whatever you want to call it, I go, oh, I just learned from that moment, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct it. And now I'm going to restore that integrity. I'm going to restore that workability. So I want you to really think about in 2018 is like, look, we're going to have these goals, we're going to do these things, we're moving into the new year, and I want you to think about when the thing doesn't happen, going, okay, I just need to restore workability. Where in the system is it not working? So just wanted to share that. I was thinking about that. And another thing is when something's not working that I've put into the world, I've said I want this to work, and I'm working towards it. When I fail, when I don't do the thing that I'm going to say, that means that I'm out of integrity, and now I have the opportunity to restore that and restore that workability. So this is a practice I've been having for a while, where I really want everything in my life to work. And when I'm doing this, when I have integrity, when the things that I say I'm going to do, when I really do everything I say I'm going to do, things just start working around me. It starts getting easy. And it only takes a little bit. So what I find is most people are saying a thing and then they're not following through. And then when they don't follow through, what they do is they don't say anything about it. They just go, oh, I didn't do the thing, it didn't work, and now I'm just not going to say anything. That's going to keep you in a space where things are not working. If you want it to work, you have to say, look, I said I was going to do this and I didn't do it, and now I'm making a commitment to doing it. Or maybe you can say, hey, I made a commitment to doing this and I shouldn't have done that, and now you have to let go of the thing. And so one of the practices that I've had is doing what I say. I am my word, and when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And if I can't, and what ends up happening is I end up disappointing myself at times. I go, look, I'm going to do this, and then it comes to my attention that I have committed to too many things. I'm doing too many. I'm not, and so what's happened is when I have like this core commitment to doing what I say. What I actually end up doing is committing to less. Most people are committing to so many things they actually cannot follow through on everything. So if you make a commitment, what you'll do is you'll burn yourself out for a month or two, and then you'll go, fuck, what would do me a lot better is if I just held back and make very few commitments and follow through on the very few things I'm doing. That's going to be really powerful, and your life and the people around you will transform because of that. Let's see, Ismail Montalban says, maybe because people put their thoughts out there and they don't really mean it. I think a lot of people, they want things to happen, and they verbalize it, and they say, yeah, I want this to happen, but they actually they're not considering everything else that's going on in their life. And then in the moment when they make the commitment verbally, it feels like a commitment, but the next day when they wake up, they realize that there's these 5 other things that they value more and they have a priority. So sticking to your word and holding to that is a really great way to actually learn what your values are. I think most people go through the world actually not knowing what it is they actually value, because what they do is they say they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. And what people really value is the thing they actually end up doing. And it becomes a trap, because the trap ends up becoming, okay, I'm going to commit to these 10 things. I can only do 3. And so when I'm committing to these 10 things and I end up experiencing a lot of failure, what people then do is go, now they feels like I can't do anything, and people get stuck. And then now they're not taking action, even on the 3 things they actually found valuable. So people end up in this loop of overcommitment, not understanding their own values, and they get caught in a loop of inaction and not making things work. And so this could look like somebody in a business, and they go, oh, I want my business to succeed, I got to do these 10 things. And it's like, no, what you really need to do is those 3 things. But because they committed these 10 things, they actually can't even figure out which of the 3 things are the most important. So over time, if you really put in the stake in the ground and go, look, I'm going to keep my word no matter what, then you'll start seeing things. And then you'll start seeing where you don't keep your word. And that's okay too. It's okay if you don't keep your word. It doesn't make you a bad person. But just recognize, oh, I am saying I'm going to do these things and I'm not. So now it's my responsibility to dial it down, and really it does nobody around you of service if you don't know your values and you're not sticking to your values. So for me, when I'm working in a world of integrity and workability, what ends up happening is things like my values and my purpose and all that stuff comes into focus very, very easily. It's when I overcommit that I get lost and I forget what my values are and what my purpose is, and so on and so forth. Yeah, Dobbins says breaking their normal and convenient rhythms is a challenge for most people. Yeah, because most people have the habit. They've got from their parents, the conditioning from their parents is how they were raised, is the environment they were raised in, where people say they're going to do a lot of stuff and then they don't do it, and so it becomes a part of normal life. And what's interesting about habituation is that, and conditioning, is that we're doing and not doing things, and we're not even aware that we're doing it. So you may be somebody who lacks integrity, who lacks workability, and you may think to yourself, I do everything I'm going to say I'm going to do. And what's really happening is you're actually not. And so this is where having friends who are going to hold your feet to the fire and go, hey, dude, you're actually not keeping your word. So I have really cultivated a lot of friendships with people who don't put up with any bullshit. And if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm not doing the things I said I'm going to be doing, they're going to let me know. And that's another thing, is most people let their friends off the hook. You know, you see your friends say they're going to do something and then they don't do it, and you don't say anything about it. And so for me, a real friend is somebody who's going to say, oh, you know what, you said you're going to do this and it didn't work out, it's not happening. And then the other person, they have the opportunity to go, you know what, you're fucking right, I'm not doing the thing I said I was going to do, and now I have the opportunity to start doing that thing. That's right, Gary, that's why we're friends. This dude, Gary Lineham, of Human Garage, you know what, I find myself interacting more and more people with integrity, and spending time, you know, when you're of integrity and you start holding people to their word, you'll find that a lot of people just stop hanging out with you, and that's okay. And you'll attract people who have integrity. And you want to find someone who's highly successful, it's going to be the people and the things that are working for them in their world. You're going to find that those people do what they say they're going to do, and when they put things out in the world, they happen, and they happen for them. And they surround themselves with people who are doing the same thing. They don't surround themselves with people who say they're going to do one thing and then they end up doing another, or just not following through, and so on and so forth. So anyways, that was my thought of the morning. I appreciate you guys joining me, and I will see you later.